Hey, we're going to take a look at units of measure in Odoo and specifically how to sell an item in a different unit of measure than you purchase it in. So there's a couple of things that we need to make sure are set up first before we do that. And if you need to turn on the capability for packaging, there's a process you're going to have to go through to make this work. So what we're going to do here first is just find a product that we can sell, in this case in feet. And you can see that this one is currently selling in units. So units of measure is just set to units, which is the default on this account. So that's for the default unit of measure as well as for purchase. Now we can change this to feet, or this product. Now, if you look in the inventory tab and you scroll to the bottom, you might see something called packages. If you don't see something called packages, you are in the correct tab. You just have to turn that setting on in the settings for your sales app. So we're going to go into the settings app here, and I'm just going to search for packaging, and check that box off, and you can see it turns it on, and it's the same setting in all three of those apps, so they all checked. When you check just one box, save your setting, and now when we go back into the product, and this is the process that I was talking about that you're going to have to do if you've sold the product before and you had unit of measure that you want to change, you're going to have to duplicate that product, and then you can archive the old one. So you'll see here we're back into the product. It is still showing units. And if we add some packaging here, and we have not duplicated this product yet, this is the original one. Just changing the unit of measure here to feet. Now, you can see that we cannot change the unit of measure for this product. So what we want to do is actually create a duplicate of the product. And again, this happens when you want to change your unit of measure for a product. So it's of course recommended that you would set your correct units of measure up when you set your product up at the beginning. So we duplicated the product, and you can see that after we duplicated it, I didn't have to navigate to the new one. I just went up to the action button here and duplicated it, and you can see it says copy at the top. So Odoo nicely takes you to that new product, since that's where you're probably going to want to work next. Now we can change the unit of measure and save, as you just saw me do. And now if we go into the inventory tab, now we can add our packaging on our duplicated copy that has the correct unit of measure applied on the general tab. So this product is going to work for our needs. And we're going to set this up for purchase in 100-foot spools only. Now we've saved it. And if we head over to our purchase app, so we're going to try to purchase and sell this item and see how it acts. So I'm just doing Control K and then slash to search across Odoo, and then type purchase and hit enter, and it takes me to the purchase app. Now I can pop this open and we can create a new purchase order, or an RFQ technically. And now when we add the product here, we're going to have an option for a package. So you can see that we have 100 feet chosen, but when we're purchasing, we can actually choose a 100-foot spool. And you can see that it says the product is packaged by 100 feet. You should purchase 100 feet. Now the reason we're getting that warning is because the quantity that we're ordering is 1 foot, as you can see. And it calculated that as 1% of a package. So you can see that the package column here, if we can read it, there we go, is only 1%. So you get that warning, which is nice. So you can either change it here, or you can change the quantity. Either one will work. We're just going to do one package, and then you can see it updates the quantity to 100 feet, and now everything matches. So we've got it working on the purchase side. Just discard changes there. Now let's head over to the sales side and sell this item. Just find that duplicate item in there, and you can see that we can sell 1 foot if we want. And there's the price. If we sell 10 feet, the unit price is 60 cents and the subtotal is $6. And there is no package here to sell. Now, if you remember, when we set the product up, there's no package here because we set that 100-foot spool up as a package that we purchase in, but not as a package that we sell in. We're going to be selling it by the default unit of measure. So that's the real difference between the unit of measure on the general tab in the product is across all of Odoo. And you wouldn't want to set up a 100-foot spool and have to navigate through that for all of your products. So Odoo gives you a product level. We'll just head back over here to the purchase app again. So Odoo gives you a product level unit of measure with packaging. Let's head back into here. Where's the product? There it is. Purchase. In here, you can add a line. So maybe one vendor, who's Wiley again, sells this product for, I don't know, 50 cents. And the delivery lead time is not what I was looking for. It should be, here it is. This not unit of measure, minimum quantity. Here we go. But they have a minimum quantity of 100 feet. Say again. So this will do the same thing on purchase if you're going to order from this particular supplier. So you could add more suppliers here, right? So this will do the same thing when you're ordering on a purchase order. It'll say, hey, you have to buy at least this many from this person. It's just, instead of looking at it from the point of view of it being in a package of that much, they're just saying these are the put up amounts. Like sometimes there's put up lengths of wire, and you have to order at least 100, and at 100 feet you get it for 50 cents a foot. But maybe even from the same supplier, you buy 500 feet, maybe you get it for 45 cents a foot. So just a quick review. We're currently on the copy. So once the other one's archived, you can retitle this so that it doesn't say copy anymore, just right here. Make sure you set your units of measure here, and this would be basically, what's the root unit of measure, not any put up amounts or packages. Then you would go into inventory and you set up your package amounts for purchase or sales. So if you're going to say package this into 50-foot spools, or maybe you don't want to sell less than 50 feet at a time or whatever, then you can set one of these up for sales. If you're going to order it in 100-foot spools and also sell it in 100-foot spools, or have that as an option, you could check sales here as well. And then somebody can buy it by the foot, like buy part of a spool, or they can buy the whole thing. So in this case, you're selling part of a package when you sell it. If you choose package when you're selling it. So when you're selling it, you can just sell it by the foot, or you can, well, let's go over there and look again. Is this in sales? No, this is not. So let's go to sales instead. So yeah, now we should be able to either sell 10 feet, or if that one did save, yeah, now you can actually sell the 100-foot spool if you want. So it's telling you, because it gave you that warning because we'd entered 10 feet for quantity, but it's like, hey, you're selling the spool, you should sell the whole spool then. So one spool. But you could not sell the spool. Hope this makes sense. And you could now sell 10 feet. And it's okay with it. You see the difference there? That should be a pretty good explanation of this, I think. To me, it makes sense. But let me know if you still have questions. Thanks.